Hey there, my friends. Welcome into a Crown Royal Water Break Wednesday. It's so good that you're with us. We want to hear from you. Please, please, please send in questions. I'll help answer them. My name's Drew Dougherty. I'm the host of Texans TV. I've been here since 2009. And the lady to my left, maybe you're right, I don't know exactly, but she's next to me. It's Deepi Sidhu, my good friend. How you doing, Deepi? What's going on?
I am doing great, Drew. I'm not really next to you. There's maybe an office or two in between us, but I can hear you through these really thin walls because you're really loud. You're really loud in the office.
I'm projecting.
But yeah, great to be here.
And
Water break,
that I need to
Water
work
break
on.
Wednesday.
It's something I need to work on is projecting. You know, like I trail off at
it.
the very end and I talk real low, and it just gets the guy who runs all this, the Geppetto, if you will, of the puppets that we are, Tyler Marcotte. He gets mad that I trail off, so I apologize. I'm going to try to do better, but it's hard. I'm an old man and I'm set in my ways in a lot of ways. So anyhow, but that's neither here nor there. We want to hear from the fans and we want to hear your questions. And the Texans are off this week. They do not have a game this weekend. When they next play, it'll be a week from Sunday in Nashville at noon Central Time against the Titans. That's a very good ball club. And Tyrod Taylor will be the starter at quarterback then. David Culley, the head coach, said so, Deepi, earlier this week. And going to be an interesting turn after the break to see how the Texans respond to the rest and if they can start getting things going and get in the win column.
Yeah, I mean, Mark and I were discussing this on Texans All Access last night. I mean, obviously, you want to go into the bye week with a win. You've got a little bit of momentum. You've got 2 weeks. It's like enjoying a win 2 weeks in a row when you have a win heading into the bye. But the Texans weren't able to do that. I think the positive is that Tyrod Taylor did go out there, see some actions. He's got a couple of weeks to sort of sit back, reflect, and the entire coaching staff can sort of look at what needs to go differently because that was an uncharacteristic performance. Tyrod said so himself. David Culley said so. 3 interceptions against the Dolphins. They're going to try to right some things. They're going to try to get some players back healthy when they face Tennessee on the road. And then it's 3 straight home games, which I feel like it's been a while since we've had a nice little home game stretch.
Those
Jets,
are rare.
Colts, Seahawks. And so we know the Texans have played better at home than they have on the road this year. They haven't scored a touchdown on the road since the fourth quarter of week 2 at Cleveland. So hopefully they can get that turned around as well when they face the Titans and then have a nice little home stretch where they can really get some momentum going here.
No doubt. That needs to change, and nobody wants to change it more than do the players and the coaches. So we're not breaking any news or talking behind anyone's backs. But yeah, they got to start getting going on the road and getting in the end zone because a very savvy scout a long, long time ago in 2011, before the Texans played the Saints that year, I asked him, I was like, what do you think? How's it looking? He said, we can beat them, but we can't be kicking no field goals. So that applied then. It applies now. The Texans kicked too many field goals that day back in 2011. And they wound up losing by less than a touchdown. So anyway, we're here to answer your questions. Daniel, we're going to lead off with his. Will Deshaun Watson play this season? No, he will not. He's on the 53-man roster, but he's not been active for any game days. He has not practiced with the team. He is in the building on a regular basis, but no, he's not going to suit up for the Texans. You will not see number 4 under center for Houston this year.
I like the analogy that we've heard on the radio and we've used it on the radio of 2 parents getting divorced, and the divorce is going to happen, but you're living under the same roof. So you're just sort of living side by side, somewhat amicably, biding your time until the split actually occurs. So no chance that the 2 parents are going to get back together again. But you just sort of have to get through it and get through it as comfortably as you can. We're hoping that the split would have happened by the trade deadline. It did not. So here we are. Nothing really changes as far as that front goes. That's the only reason why Deshaun was in the news even this past month, was because the trade deadline, it caught a little bit of steam if the Texans were able to trade, get some picks in exchange for trading him. That didn't happen, obviously. He's back on the roster. But no, don't plan on seeing number 4 anytime this season or in a Texans uniform.
Yeah. German Texan, good to hear from you as always. Culley already said that Tyrod Taylor will start after the bye. Do you think the Texans should consider Davis Mills? I think you're going to see Davis Mills play at some point here in the second half. I think that could be because of injury. That could be for other reasons. But I would not rule out him playing, but it's not going to be against Tennessee, or at least as the starter. Taylor's going to get the go. It's like you said earlier in this video, it was an uncharacteristic showing by Tyrod Taylor in Miami. We've never seen something like that in his entire career. And certainly we didn't see anything like that in the first 3 halves of football that he played this season. So it was very uncharacteristic of him. I think also of the protection as a whole. You don't want to just pin it on the offensive line, but on the protection, the O-line, the running backs, the tight ends, et cetera, et cetera. It was just a weird day. And yes, I do think you'll see Mills, but it's not going to be this first week out of the bye, Deepi.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we will see Davis Mills. I think right now the team needs to get some wins. They need to get some momentum going. They need to start scoring. I think it's very beneficial to have Tyrod Taylor in at center, because then you can evaluate the other positions, some of the younger guys on offense that you want to see what they're able to do. So if you got a bunch of rookies in there at the same time, I don't know how that complicates things, how you're able to sort of evaluate some of your other positions. But I think Tyrod gives you the best chance to win right now. So it'd be nice to get some wins. But we know where the season is headed. The Texans are 1-8 right now, so it's sort of on a runaway train right now. So we can't really corral it back. The postseason is probably not going to happen this year. So at some point, it will be nice to sort of see Davis Mills, give him some more game reps and see what he can do. And, because that's only going to make him better as a quarterback to actually get some live game reps. So I do think we'll see him, whether that's injury, whether that's just to add another spark at some point. I think that, maybe towards the end of the season, we might see him just to give him some more real live action out there.
Yeah, and German Texan had a follow-up. He said, Drew, is the jacket you wore lately in an interview available in the online store? And Deepi, he's referencing the jacket that you made fun of me for wearing last week. It was cold. It was chilly.
You were wearing it indoors.
Actually, I got that. That was given to me by the team a year or so ago. It was just for employees on the business ops side of things. It's
employee swag.
It's a great jacket. I wish it were available because it's really cool. But sorry, German Texan, it is not available for purchase. It's a custom. Saran has this. What do you expect for the second half of the season? It's a big, broad question. It's a good question. As far as the second half, it's like you just said, Deepi, the Texans want to win games. There's this idea out there that the Texans don't want to, that they're tanking, and they're not doing that. They do not. They don't want to lose. They want to win games. They want to see what they got with a lot of these players, because you clearly have building blocks for the future with defensive end Jonathan Grenard, with wide receiver Nico Collins. You think with quarterback Davis Mills, and there are some other names that I'm leaving out right now, but they have pinpointed a lot of young names. They want to keep pinpointing some more who might be eligible to leave in free agency this offseason, or you might want to lock up for a longer term. So you want to win, and you want to see what you've got and who you want to keep around here for the future. I think those are the two main goals. Now, that might be kind of a cloudy answer to that question, Sir Ron, but right now, that's the best I got for you, man.
I think they want to see consistency. I think David Culley talked about that as well. Things that have frustrated them in the first half of the season, like the penalties and the missed tackles, and turning the ball over. They sometimes clean it up, and then sometimes it's just another issue, like the turnovers, like they were in Miami. Missed tackles were a little bit better. Penalties just seem to be plaguing this team every single week. So I think they want to see some consistency. They want to clean up the errors that they've had in the first half of the season, and they want to be able to maintain that through this final stretch of games, because, we've talked about this over and over again. Every time the offense will have a nice chunk play or a nice gain, you get called back because of a penalty. So you can't keep doing that. You're really shooting yourself in the foot. And you got to have long, sustainable drives. You got to be able to run the ball better. And maybe that improves as you get some of your injured players back off of IR. The O-line right now is without 3 of its starters, both tackles and center Justin Britt. So if you can get one of those guys back, maybe even Laramie Tunsil, who seems to be the closest to returning, maybe that helps your run game a little bit. Maybe having him plus Tyrod plus, just a mix of things like not committing penalties, not turning the ball over. Maybe all those put together will allow you to have some good offensive drives, and then maybe you can build on that and keep things consistent. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I think they were really pleased with how they performed in Sunday's game. They didn't really allow a lot of big plays. They were better on tackling. They just got to keep that up. That's got to continue. And, and if they can do that, maybe they can get some wins here in the second half of the season.
Wins is what we want, plural. So let's make that happen. It's always a win when I get to talk to you and talk with you and answer fan questions. So we thank you for sending all those in. If we weren't able to get to yours today, keep sending it in, and I'll try and do it in a Dear Drew, because I'm going to have one out later on today. And there will probably be one out maybe tomorrow or Friday, but that is going to wrap things up. Bobby sneaks one in at the wire. Good job, Bobby. Get the buzzer beater in. He says, do you think the Texans will win any more games this season? Yes, Bobby, I do. They will win another game this year. Take it to the bank, okay? You heard it here first.
We're speaking it into 10th. Existence.
All right, that's right. And Deepi's with me, so we're banking on that one. But Deepi, good work as always. Thank you to Tyler Marcotte, to Amanda Caffey for helping out and making this all happen behind the scenes. And we hope you're having a great week off from Texans football this weekend, and we can't wait to get back at it next week, a week from Sunday in Nashville, as the Texans take on their bitter AFC South rivals, the Tennessee Titans. All right, until then, we'll see you later. So long. Go Texans.